Hello, beautiful people. Let me show you how to make delicious, healthy fried rice without seasoning cubes. Everything used in this fried rice is locally sourced, no canned ingredients. Everything is locally sourced from the local market. So I have basmati rice, I have my chicken, turkey wings, yes, and then I have my sweet corn. This I got it from the market, not the can. And then my uh, um, green peas, my green beans, carrots, spring onions, bell pepper, and then I have my habanero pepper. I like using habanero pepper, hatalodo, the hot one. Okay, and then I have my kidney beans. This kidney beans is raw, right? I'm going to soak it overnight. So I'm going to prep all this over the night, and then in the morning, Sunday morning, I'm going to just prepare everything. And then I also went ahead to use my food processor to chop my onions, okay? Because I'm using lots of onions. I usually use food processor, and then I used my thyme to season my um, turkey wings, yes. And then I have my rosemary. So this rosemary is grounded. I don't like it, it's always very long, so I grounded. And then this is my garlic. Yes, these are powdered one. You can also use the fresh one, okay. And then I have my ginger. Everything is just to season the chicken, but we are not using artificial. You see that seasoning cubes? No way. I don't use it. There's no space for it. And this fried rice is still going to come out tasty, delicious, even more delicious than the one you use the seasoning cubes. And then and I added little cinnamon powder, and then I'm going to mix everything together, and then I'll allow it to marinate. I'll just keep it aside and then allow it to just cool. So I'm doing this like over the night, while in this is the morning. And then my rice, basmati rice, was already parboiled, boiled it slightly, okay. And I added my salt and then my grounded dry pepper. Yes, this is homemade fried rice. I don't, not the type you buy in the supermarket, in the restaurants, okay. So I added pepper. I like to taste my pepper, and then my curry powder. Yes, and why this is my seasoning powder, homemade seasoning powder made with different herbs. Okay, I already have a video on how I made this seasoning powder, and then I added little oil into the rice, so you can see the mixture. Make sure you add lots of curry powder, because that's what is going to change the color, right? That's going to give you the yellow color. Okay, so I went ahead. My meat was already cooked. My turkey was cooked already, and I brought out the turkey with. I'll be using the water. Okay, so this is the water. I'm going to put almost. I'm not going to use everything because I'll still use a little for the sauce I'll be using for the turkey. Right, I'm going to make a sauce, pepper sauce for it. Okay, and then I added more water. So, but be sure not to add too much water so your rice is not soggy. Okay, and then I put it on fire, and then I went ahead to grate my ginger and garlic. So I want to start making the fried rice sauce. Okay, okay, so this is my rice. You can see it's almost done. While it's almost done, you can see my kidney beans soaked overnight. Added it, and then I added my green peas. So this is going to cook because it comes raw. I bought it raw, okay. And then so I'm going to cook it, allow it to cook. And then why it is cooking, and then I'll go ahead and fry my my vegetables, okay. And then into my oil, I just poured the oil. I didn't allow it to get hot because I don't like that smoke coming out. I added my garlic and ginger. It is, don't skip this garlic and ginger if you want a tasty fried rice. It is very important. Then you add your onions, okay. So you slice the onions the way you like. And then another thing, curry, curry is what actually gives it the color, apart from those using artificial color, food coloring. So I don't know why I use food coloring when turmeric is there to give it the color, right? So I added my seasoning powder, my homemade seasoning powder, okay. And then I went ahead to stir, so you can see how the sauce is made, just simple, plain. And then I added my sea salt. So I don't use normal refined salt, I use sea salt to cook, okay. And then so this, you can see the oil is very small, so it's not so much, so your oil won't be at the bottom of your plate after cooking. So you don't need too much of oil for fried rice. Right. So you go ahead, and then once you everything has mixed up together, then I added my vegetable. You can see everything, carrots, the kidney beans, and the everything was just there, apart from the kidney beans, sorry, the green peas and everything. All right. And then I added my sweet corn. This sweet corn also got it from the market. So everything I used here were locally sourced. There's no canned food. I didn't buy anything canned here. everything. Go to the market, you see this thing, the aboki sell them, right? You can buy them raw and then use it for your fried rice. Nothing, you don't need can. Canned food is filled with preservative, sugar and everything, and then they have a very long shelf life. But this came straight from the farm, right? So once my sauce is ready and then my rice is also ready, and then I went ahead to just mix everything, and then I added little more of my seasoning powder and a little more salt. So this is my habanero pepper, that's my atarodum. Okay, so I prefer using this one than the red bell pepper. Red pepper is tasteless. It doesn't have any hotness. So I like using this one. Is sweet and then it makes it hot. Okay, so it just gives you one sweet taste like that. Okay, so that's why I just use only green pepper and then habanero pepper, and then I went ahead to mix. Guys, you can see that this fried rice is really fried. It's really fried rice. It's not like those ones that you see the rice will be colored and then you start counting the green beans and then counting the sweet corn that is there. You can see that the vegetable is much. That's what makes it fried rice. Thank you so much for watching. If you got more value and if you got value from this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. Bye. See you in my next video.